to Cooking with Chemists. Today's episode is called Snickerdoodle Science. We will be teaching you how to make snickerdoodles and explaining the science behind them. Our bakers are Isabella Coker and Kaden Becker. And this is our special guest, chemist Claudia Daria. And I'm your host, Alyssa Bruna. Now back to the kitchen for the ingredients.
First, you will need 1 cup butter, 2 large eggs, 1½ cup sugar, 2 teaspoons cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon pure vanilla extract, 1/4 a teaspoon salt, 3 tablespoons cinnamon, and 2 3/4 cup flour.
You will need a medium-sized baking bowl, an electric mixer, a baking sheet, and measuring cups.
The first thing you need to do is to cream the butter, sugar, and eggs in our electric mixer.
Now we put in the butter.
Hey Claudia, why do we even need butter? Tell us what role butter plays in the making of our cookies.
First of all, thank you for having me on your amazing show. To answer your question, butter is the fat in the cookie, and in baking, fats have many roles. They soften the baked goods by coating the particles of flour and preventing long gluten strands. They add flavor, and they also determine the texture and density of the cookie. Gluten strands are basically a type of protein that is made when mixing gluten with water. It can be bad because if they're too large or strong, they can create an overly chewy or tough cookie. Fats also enable browning and help to move the heat through the cookie. The part of butter that isn't fat is mostly water, so it creams when you mix it, and it traps air to make the cookie light. Once I tried to use oil instead, and that did not work at all. Some other modifications that we tried in our kitchen was changing the flour type, adding more eggs, and replacing sugar with maple syrup, but none of them worked as well as the original recipe.
Okay, so what is the next step for these cookies?
The next thing we need is the stuff that makes cookies, the sweetener.
In this recipe, we will be using white sugar.
Sugar affects the structure of the cookies, keeping the cookie soft and moist. Sugar bonds with water in the cookie, and this bond between the sugar and the water keeps the cookie soft by locking in the moisture instead of having all the water escape in the form of gas. The proteins and starches from the ingredients, such as the eggs and the flour, firm up during the baking process. Since they build structure, they can make the cookie tough, and the sugar helps counteract that. Since the sugar bonds with the water, it can take away from the proteins and starches, preventing them from becoming too strong. Now, back to the kitchen.
As you can see, we've already put the eggs in the mixture.
And why do we put eggs in the cookies?
What an excellent question. I'm not sure of the exact science. I just do it because it's in the recipe. Why don't we ask our special guest?
Eggs put the protein and some fat into the cookie. Eggs are about 12% protein, 75% moisture, about 2% sugar, and 10% fat. An egg white is primarily made of water and albumin, which is a long strand protein that unravels and interlocks in the presence of heat. This keeps all the ingredients together and keeps the cookie from being too crumbly. The eggs also add vanilla flavor, but it's very light. When the whites of the eggs are whipped, air can be added to the batter, giving it a lighter texture. The yolks are mostly fat, which provides richness for the cookie. Lipids, fat, and the small amount of protein in the yolks will coagulate, or become a solid, in the presence of heat, helping bring the cookie together.
Now let's turn off the mixture, and we will proceed to scrape the sides of the bowl with a spatula.
And what does that do?
By scraping the sides of the bowl, the batter becomes denser and it traps pockets of air inside the dough, which creates more volume. Also, if you do not blend the mixture, the batter will have an inconsistent texture and will bake unevenly since the ingredients won't be incorporated properly.
In a separate bowl, we are going to combine the flour, baking soda, salt, and cream of tartar. First, let's put the flour in.
Flour helps combine the fats and sugar together. Flour also helps trap some air inside the cookie, creating a lighter cookie.
But does it matter what type of flour we use? They're all the same, right?
Actually, no. Different types of flours have different protein structures, which affects the outcome of the cookie. We used all-purpose flour because it has a moderate protein level of about 11%, and it is unbleached, which makes a healthier cookie. Bleaching can take away nutrients in the flour, as well as it takes away the color. Flour also absorbs water because of the starches in it. This happens because starch molecules build up their structures when the water is heated. The structure build allows for the starch molecules to absorb the water.
Add baking soda and cream of tartar.
Wait, what even is cream of tartar?
Cream of tartar is a substance that comes from wine, more specifically the stuff that is left in the wine barrels. But I don't know what it does to cookies.
I do. Cream of tartar, when combined with baking soda, creates a carbon dioxide gas. The gas is needed because it's the same gas that is made when yeast is cooked. The gas helps puff up the cookie when it is released in the dough. The cream of tartar also helps prevent the sugar in the cookies from forming hard crystals. This is because it's an acid and breaks down those molecules. Baking soda will react with the cream of tartar to form carbon dioxide, as I stated before, and it will also raise the pH. Since it is an alkaline, it makes the protein coagulation slower in the cookie, making the cookie spread out evenly and creating evenness in the cookie. I know this is a lot of science, but now back to
the mixture.
The salt adds flavor and creates a contrast against the sweetness, and actually intensifies the sweetness and helps our tongue react to sugar in places it normally doesn't, telling us what we are eating is really sweet.
Now we add the vanilla extract. It's almost ready. Now we just need to add our dry ingredients into the wet batter.
Make sure to pour it gently so it doesn't poof up in your face.
Mixing in the ingredients, be sure of two things.
One is to make sure to mix the batter completely so that it's all one color.
And the other is to scrape the sides of the bowl so the batter is completely mixed, as we discussed before.
bakers. Make sure not to eat raw cookie dough because the bacteria in the eggs can carry salmonella, which will give you severe food poisoning.
The dough with tin foil, and now we're going to put it in the fridge to chill for 10 to 15 minutes.
While our dough is chilling, you need to make your cinnamon and sugar mixture.
We use 3 tablespoons sugar and 1 tablespoon cinnamon.
You will also need a baking pan with parchment paper so that the cookies don't stick. When our dough is chilled, we need to take a piece of cookie dough about an inch in diameter and roll it. Next, we coat it in our cinnamon sugar mixture and place it on the tray.
This cookie recipe yields about 24 cookies.
Repeat the process until all trays are full. Now we're going to put our cookies in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. The top rack is better if you want a slightly chewy crisp cookie, but the bottom rack is better if you want a slightly crispier one. Use whichever one you think is best.
Here are some things that you can do while you're waiting.
Be careful when taking the cookies out of the oven because they will be hot.
Those look so good. Can I eat one?
No, you'll burn your mouth.
Wait for the cookies to cool for 10 minutes before eating one.
It's finally time to test our experiment. They smell so good. Wow. These are some really good cookies. That's all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the show and tune in next time for more Cooking with Chemists.